Hey everybody, Diane Haggerty, Grassroots Taxes. Today I'm going to be serious, real serious. We're going to talk about child support. We're going to talk about what it is, what it isn't, how to pay it, what happens if it's not paid. And we're going to hit this from both sides, okay? So, not just the payer, not just the payee. We're going to hit both sides on this. So, if you have children, pay attention, okay? All right, so let's start with the fact that I'm a tax expert. I'm not a lawyer. So I'm not giving you legal advice. But I do have to withhold child support from a lot of people's paychecks. I do that a lot. I have to deal with a lot of garnishments of people's tax returns, right? So I deal with child support enforcement all the time. So let's work on this. Okay, so what is child support for? What's the point? I mean, just to punish people for having babies? No. It's first to be sure that both parents are participating in raising a child. Kids are expensive. They need two parents. Even if one's just financial, you need two parents. The other one is, this is the one that makes everybody mad. It's called balancing the lifestyles, right? So that means, why does a kid have to live with, the poor parent that never has anything and then go to the rich parent's house? It kind of has a divide there. So they call it balancing the lifestyles. So the parents are equally sharing in the support of their children. Now, that doesn't make everybody so happy, but that's the way courts work. So say mom is a lawyer, she makes $200,000 a year, and dad works part-time at the gas station. Let's talk about this. So mom gets custody of the children. Does she need child support from dad? Well, not really. She really doesn't need his money. However, the court's going to order that he pays $25 a week because, one, he needs to participate in raising his children, and two, balancing the lifestyles. Again, you got to sacrifice something if you have kids. Flip it over. Let's say the court awards custody to dad, who works part-time at the gas station. It's not always the parent who makes the most money who gets custody of the children. Sometimes it's not in their best interest. The court's going to do what's in the best interest of the children. So sometimes it's dad who works part-time at the Easy Mart. Okay, so then what happens? If mom makes $200,000 a year, dad makes $15,000 a year. I did the math on this. Mom's going to pay dad $420 a week in child support. Is that going to make mom happy? No. Is it going to balance the lifestyles between somebody who makes $15,000 a year and somebody who makes $200,000 a year? A little bit. Yeah, it's going to make a difference. So remember that the court is going to decide what's best for the children, not what's best for you. You're inviting the court into your problems to make this decision. If you want to go to court and you want the court to decide it, they're going to decide in what's best interest of the children, not you. You don't get to win. Everybody does what's in the best interest of the court. So what child support isn't? And I hear this a lot, especially when I get people's tax returns seized for back child support. I didn't have to file that. I didn't have to file that and let them seize it. I could have stayed behind in arrears. I get that all the time. I'm only filing so they get their back child support. Well, okay, I understand that. At least you're trying. So what child support is not? It's not direct payments for things for the kids. And I get that a lot. That it's like, well, I'm paying for that football. I'm paying for the dance lessons. And I'm paying. No, you're not. You're paying for a balanced lifestyle for your children. It is not direct payments for things. And just because you're paying extra to pay for dance lessons or that, it doesn't get added to your child support. So, something else that child support is not. It is not a ticket for visitation. Visitation and child support are two different things. If you are back on your child support and the other parent says, oh, you can't see the kids because you're not paying. No. Child support is not a ticket to visitation. They're judged separately. If one parent withholds visitation on the other parent's court-ordered visitation, you can get a lot of trouble for that. Okay, being behind on your child support does not negate the fact that you can still have a relationship with your children. Okay, finally, one thing that it's not, that a lot of people come to me and be like, oh, look at all the child support I paid, or where do I report this? Okay, it is not a tax issue. If you are paying child support, it's not a tax deduction. If you are receiving child support, it's not income. You don't have to report it on your tax return anywhere. It's not taxable. It is not a tax issue. Raising your children is not a tax deduction, and you don't get any credit for it. Okay, so let's switch gears here. Let's talk about how to pay it. And I have a lot of people come to me with some very interesting things. They don't want to use the registry. They never set up an account. They don't want them to seize my paycheck. Well, they won't if you pay. They only seize your paycheck if you agree to that. Now, use the state registry. I don't want to hear any excuses. I hear all the excuses. Well, how do I know I'm going to get my money if I send it there? Or, oh, they just hold it for days. They never give it to me. I had this friend who never got her money through child support. I'm like, the registry has 24 hours to turn it around and get it to you. It's not the registry that's the problem. It's the other parent not paying. So if you are the receiver, okay, if you are the one receiving child support, do not take cash. Just don't. Don't take cash, because there's no way that you can, there's no proof that you're receiving child support. So if they decide to stop paying you in cash or stop paying you with checks, there's never been an account opened at the registry. So if they decide to stop paying and you go to the registry, and normally it would cost, like $20 or $25 to open a case and have them go and enforce it and get their check garnished. If the registry has no record of you ever opening an account or anybody having an account on this, they can't help you. They tell you to go get an attorney, which costs thousands. And of course, if you're not getting child support, how are you going to pay for that? So yes, do not accept cash. The same reasons if you're the payer. Do not pay your child support in cash to the other person. Pay it through the registry. It's the only record. It's the only defense that you're actually paying. They could come to you and be like, well, they never paid child support. He owes me for the past 3 years. He's never paid me. What? Like, I have all these checks. Well, if you didn't pay it through the registry, you're going to be hard-pressed to prove why didn't you pay it in accordance with what the judge ordered. So the only record you have of proof is paying through the registry. So I don't care if you're the payer or the payee. I don't care which parent you are. Use the state registry in your state to pay your child support. It's the only proof you have. Now, finally, let's talk about what happens if it's not paid. First of all, if you're the person receiving child support, I depend on those payments. I can't pay my house payment without my child support. What am I going to do if he doesn't? Okay, you need to plan on that happening. Even if it never happens and you have the greatest co-parent in the world, guess what? It could happen. They could lose their job. If you're depending on that money for everything and you have no backup plan, there's nothing you can do to make that money appear in your checking account. You can go to a lawyer, you can start enforcement. There's nothing saying that that person just couldn't quit their job or get hurt or, lose everything or disappear or move to Tibet. Who knows? There's nothing you can do to make that money appear in your account. Nothing. So if they decide to stop paying, it will take months and legal action to make it happen. And if they stop working and don't have any income, what are they going to do? They can't go in and sell his TV. I mean, there's nothing you can do to make that money appear. So have a backup plan. If you are relying 100% on child support to raise your children and they decide to stop, what are you going to do? So have a plan for that. Second thing, if you are the payer and something bad happens and you can't pay, who's the first person you call? First person you call is your co-parent and say, look, I lost my job. It may be a few weeks. And of course, they're going to scream at you and whatever and be upset, but at least you told them. Second, you need to call child support enforcement, the registry. Remember them? Okay, call them up and say, hey, I lost my job. I'm going to do the best I can to get this paid. Most places let you get 12 weeks in arrears before they come after you legally. But you need to get caught up. And the second thing, if it's permanent, like you're permanently hurt, you can't work again, you got to go on disability or something bad, you need to get an attorney and go to court and plead your case. At least call the judge's office. Do something to let everybody know that there's a problem. Don't just stop paying. Tell people why. And the court will look much nicely on that situation because you tried and you were clear about it. Final two things. Be kind to your co-parents. really, work out what you can between yourselves. If you keep spending money on lawyers, that's money you could be spending on a day at Silver Dollar City, right? Or Disney World or wherever you live. The more you spend on lawyers, it's more food you're taking out of your kid's mouth. Be kind to your co-parents. Work it out on your own without inviting the court in to make all your decisions for you. And two, this may seem like a nightmare now. It may seem like a nightmare, but I tell you, as a woman in her 50s, that her kids are grown up, you're going to blink, and those kids are going to be adults. And they're going to remember how you treated the other parent. So please, not only be kind, but know that this is only a season of your life, and it's going to be over so fast, and you're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, when did my kids grow up? It happens so fast, so please be patient and be kind, and try not to invite the court into every decision you need to make. Okay? That's child support. I'm going to do some nicer videos. Maybe I'll be a little funnier next time. Again, Diane Haggerty, Grassroots Taxes. Like, subscribe, read my blog. You know the drill. Okay, I'll see you again next time.